All right, welcome back for another deep dive. Today we're taking you to Phuket, Thailand.
Ah, Phuket.
I know, right? Just the name conjures up images of like turquoise water and those beautiful beaches.
Oh, right.
So today we are going to dive into the Phuket real estate market and hopefully help you avoid some common pitfalls.
Yeah, it's easy to get swept away by the beauty of the island, the beaches and the culture.
Mm-hmm.
But, if you're thinking of buying property there, it's really important to be informed.
Yeah. We've got a ton of sources here, articles, reports, personal stories, all about this topic.
Yeah,
Really want to help equip you to make smart decisions.
absolutely.
So one of the things that jumped out at me right away is that Thailand has like unique laws about foreigners owning property.
Right, yeah. It's a little different than many other places.
Okay.
For example, did you know foreigners can't actually own land in Phuket?
Wait, seriously?
Yeah.
So then how do people like buy property there?
Well, for condos, you can own up to 49% of the units in a development. But when it comes to land, it's all about leasehold agreements.
Leasehold, okay, so like
Mhm.
kind of like renting the land for a long time.
It's similar to renting, but with a leasehold, you actually have the legal right to occupy and develop the property.
Okay.
And these leases in Phuket, they can be up to 30 years.
That sounds like a decent amount of time. Are there any downsides I should know about?
Yeah, that's a good question. One thing to be aware of is escalating renewal fees.
Hmm.
So as you get closer to the end of that 30-year term, the landowner could significantly increase the price to renew.
So it's not just like a one-time payment and I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
I've got to factor in those future costs.
Exactly. You've got to think long term.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And also, selling a leasehold property can be a little bit trickier than selling a freehold property. You'll need to find a buyer who's okay with the remaining lease term.
Oh, okay. So more research is essential before I start looking at listings.
Oh, absolutely. Imagine you found this dream villa online. It's got, the infinity pool, ocean views, everything. Right. But before you even book that flight to go see it, you got to make sure there aren't any legal issues waiting to, ruin your dreams.
Yeah, legal storms are not fun. So where do I even start with this research? What's step one?
I would say, first and foremost, connect with a reputable real estate agent
Okay.
and a lawyer who specializes in Phuket property. They can guide you through all the legal stuff,
Okay.
help you understand the different ownership structures, and they'll point you in the right direction for due diligence.
Due diligence, that sounds pretty important.
It is.
What does that actually involve in Phuket?
So due diligence is basically like uncovering any potential issues with the property before you buy it.
Yeah.
This includes, verifying the ownership, checking for any debts or legal disputes tied to the property, and getting a professional building inspection
Okay.
to really assess its condition.
So kind of like getting a full health checkup for the property.
Exactly. You don't want to buy into any hidden problems. That could become really expensive headaches down the line.
Yeah, no thanks. Okay, so legal and due diligence. Check, check. Now let's talk money. Are there property taxes? How bad are those for foreigners?
There are property taxes.
Okay,
But the good news is they're relatively low compared to some other countries.
okay.
But they can vary a bit. It depends on the type of property, where it is, how long you own it.
Right.
Your real estate agent can give you the specifics for any properties you're considering.
That makes sense. I'm guessing there are other costs too, right? Besides just the price of the property.
Absolutely. You'll have legal fees, agent fees, maybe even transfer taxes.
Okay.
And then don't forget about the ongoing costs like maintenance, utilities, property management.
Especially if you're not living there full time.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's easy to get caught up in those like luxury features, but it's so important to think about those long-term financial implications. Don't want that infinity pool to become a financial drain.
I completely agree. That's why having a realistic budget is so essential. It's about finding a property that fits your lifestyle and your financial situation.
So research, assemble a team of experts,
Yeah.
and set a realistic budget,
Yes.
all before we even start looking at listings.
Oh, exactly. Think of it like building a house.
Okay,
A solid foundation is crucial for long-term stability and success.
love that. Great advice. Definitely sounds like there's a lot more to buying property in Phuket than meets the eye.
There's a lot to consider, but that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
To give you the knowledge and insights you need to navigate this market with confidence.
Perfect. All right, so we've tackled the legal stuff and the finances. Now let's talk about something a bit more, well, fun, lifestyle.
Right. This is where it gets exciting.
Yeah.
Phuket offers such a diverse range of lifestyles. You've got, bustling beach towns, peaceful retreats up in the hills. It's all about finding what suits you best.
Yeah, I imagine this is more than just like condo versus villa.
Absolutely.
The neighborhood, the vibe, all of that.
Yeah. Exactly. Like, let's say you're drawn to the energy of Patong. With the nightlife, the crowds, the buzz.
Mm-hmm.
A secluded villa miles away probably won't be a good fit.
Right. Even if it has amazing views, you'd be spending a fortune on taxis.
Exactly. But on the flip side, if you want peace and quiet, a villa tucked away in a tranquil spot. That might be your paradise.
That does sound idyllic.
Yeah.
But what about practical stuff?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Like access to shops, transportation, healthcare?
So those are all crucial. If you're an hour's drive from groceries or a doctor, that quiet life can lose its appeal pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's all about balance, finding that sweet spot.
Exactly. And that's where a good local real estate agent comes in. They can help you navigate the different neighborhoods, point out the pros and cons.
Yeah, and ultimately find a property that really matches your vision.
Right.
So before I even start browsing listings, what questions should I be asking myself, like to really figure out my Phuket lifestyle?
Oh, that's a great question. Start by picturing your ideal day in Phuket. What does it look like? Are you up early for a sunrise swim on the beach?
That sounds amazing. Or maybe I'm sleeping in, enjoying breakfast with a jungle view, then hitting the local markets.
Right. And what about your social life? Are you picturing yourself at beach clubs with other expats or quiet evenings at home?
Those are totally different vibes.
Yeah,
I mean, a party animal wouldn't want to be miles from the action.
absolutely. And if you crave solitude, you wouldn't want to be in a busy tourist hub.
Right, it wouldn't work. What about hobbies? Like if I'm a golfer or a diver, those would influence my choice too.
For sure. If you're a foodie, you'd probably want to be within walking distance of great restaurants.
Yeah, makes sense. So it's more than just a property, it's finding a place that fits into the life I want.
It's about finding the right piece of the puzzle.
I like that. Now, I'm also curious about the different communities within Phuket. I know some areas are popular with expats. Any recommendations for someone looking to connect with that expat community?
It depends what you're looking for in a community. Some areas, like Rawai and Shillong, are known for a laid-back vibe. They attract retirees, families, digital nomads. There's a strong community feel there.
So if I want to share stories with other expats over a beer, those spots might be worth checking out.
Yeah, exactly. Now, if you're after a more luxurious experience, places like Kamala and Surin have upscale residences, fancy restaurants, a more vibrant social scene.
So it's finding the community that matches my lifestyle.
Exactly. It's another piece of that Phuket puzzle.
Love it. All right, so we've done legal, financial, lifestyle. Anything else we need to think about before hitting those listings?
Let me think.
Okay, so we've really covered a lot of ground. From legal stuff to finances, lifestyle. It's clear that buying in Phuket, it's not a simple decision.
It's definitely multifaceted, but with, good planning and the right advice, it can be so rewarding.
Okay.
I mean, imagine waking up to the sound of the ocean, spending your days exploring those beaches, immersing yourself in that amazing culture.
It sounds like a dream. But before we get totally carried away,
Right.
what about the practical stuff, especially for a foreigner? Visas, managing the property, even just navigating those cultural differences.
All important things. Let's start with visas. If you're planning to stay long-term, there are different options like retirement visas, investment visas.
Okay.
You'll need to research those, make sure you qualify well before you plan to move.
So it's not just buy a place and show up.
No, definitely not. And once you've got your visa sorted, then think about property management.
Okay.
If you're not living there full-time, you'll probably want someone reliable to handle things like maintenance, rent collection, dealing with tenants if you're renting it out.
Makes sense. Don't want to be dealing with a plumbing emergency from across the world.
Exactly. And speaking of, cultural differences, it's important to be sensitive and respectful. Thailand has a unique culture, so understanding the customs can go a long way in building good relationships with your neighbors, the community.
So it's about more than just buying a property. It's about, becoming part of the community.
Exactly. And, for those who are already comfortable with the basics of Phuket real estate, I do want to throw in, a level up tip.
Okay, a level up tip. I like it. Hit me.
Have you thought about exploring, niche property markets within Phuket?
Niche markets.
Yeah, so beyond the usual condos and villas, there are some really interesting niche markets popping up, like eco-friendly developments focused on sustainability.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, if you're environmentally conscious, that's something to look into.
Definitely.
And for those who want a more hands-off investment, luxury villas with rental management programs are getting popular.
Ah, okay.
He handle everything, marketing, bookings, guest services.
Wow.
You get a passive income stream without the day-to-day hassle.
So perfect for someone who maybe wants to invest but not necessarily live there full time?
Exactly. Just do your research, understand the ins and outs of each market, and make sure it aligns with your goals.
All right, so we've really covered a ton today. Legal, financial, lifestyle, even those niche markets.
We've given you a good foundation.
Yeah.
But remember, this is just the start. There's always more to learn and discover.
So true. And that brings us to our final thought for today. Beyond the beaches, the culture, the opportunities, ask yourself, what kind of life do you actually envision for yourself in Phuket?
Let that vision guide you. It's not just about owning a piece of paradise. It's about creating a life you love in that paradise. A life filled with amazing experiences, connections, a real sense of belonging.
Couldn't have said it better myself. So for all our listeners thinking about Phuket, we hope this deep dive has given you the info and inspiration to take that next step. Remember, informed decisions are key to unlocking that dream life.
And who knows, maybe that life will be even more vibrant and fulfilling than you ever imagined.
That's it for our deep dive into the Phuket property market. We'll catch you next time for another exploration of, well, whatever fascinating topic we dive into next.
Always an adventure.
Until then, happy exploring.